What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV with your boy Dano. And let me tell you, you guys are in for a special surprise today. We have Lacey Turner, film director, lyricist, podcaster, all of the highest caliber. And man, we are in for a treat today. Lacey, what do you have to say to the Positivity Posse before we get started for today?
Hey, yo, man, I got to say my intro that I always give. I am your favorite rapper's favorite rapper, the best film writer and director in St. Louis, facts, award-winning published author, actor, journalist, actor, business owner, nominated Hollywood Music Media in the Media Awards artist, Lacey G. Souldier Turner.
There it is. What I tell y'all? See, I couldn't say all of that. That is a mouthful. But grab your paper, grab your popcorns, grab your soda, whatever you got to do, because it's time for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Let's get it, everybody.
Activism is about keeping our families together.
God bless this organization.
Go, man. It's time for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. You already know. I'm super excited to bring Lacey on for today. I'm telling you guys, he's chock full of golden nuggets, great experiences, and great ideas, great advice. Everything that you can name, he has it. So I'm really excited for him to be on here for today. But before we bring him on, you already know what we got to do. I got to tell you about one quick announcement. I will not be having the show next week live. I'm going to be in Dallas, Texas, with E360 because we're going to be doing a space event over there. So I just wanted to give you guys, that heads up right now that we're not going to be having a show next week. So that's why for this week, we got to go all out with Lacey. We got to spam the comments, like it, heart it, do whatever you got to do to make sure that we double it for them, for next week since we're not going to be on. Here's what Lou says: gold bars, not nuggets. It's interesting that you say that because Lacey is a songwriter as well. But that's how I'm going to start using that: gold bars, not nuggets, because nuggets are too small. You're right. The amount of value and stuff that we provide it should be gold bars. So I'm gonna start changing that now. Hashtag positivity posse. Thank you for Carmen for dropping that. Dano Manuch, my guy, nice to see you here. Thank you for being here. Let's go, Operation Dread Factor. I promise you got to stop talking about Rainbow Six. That game is not a great game at all, in my opinion, but we'll talk about that at another time. Thank you, Jeanette, for dropping hashtag positivity posse. You guys are already lighting it up. You guys are already killing it, smashing it, whatever you want to call it. You guys are bringing in that energy for today, and I thank you for it. So that was my first announcement that I have for you guys. And you already know what we got to do now. We got to do the affirmations for happiness, because every time that we open up this book, you already know, whether it's for me, whether it's for the positivity posse, it might even be for Lacey. Who knows? Somebody needs to hear this message. So let's dive right into it. We're going to talk about number 144 right here. And number 144 says this: I always deserve more happiness, not less. When I'm upset, I deserve more happiness, not less. When I'm stressed, I deserve more happiness, not less. When I'm happy, I deserve even more happiness, not less. 100%. So there it is. I always deserve more happiness, not less. And I really like that a lot, because what we don't understand, or what we have a hard time understanding, is that no matter what we go through in any situation, there's always a silver lining, right? And when you understand that everything is either a lesson or a blessing, we understand that everything is working out for us in our greatest good. So the most severe or tragic thing can happen to us, but if you understand that it's meant in your life to serve you, and that nothing is going to be placed in your life that you can't handle anyway, then we know, number one, we're going to get through it. And number two, that there's a reason to be happy. So no matter what it is, like even what it said, even when the good things are going on in your life as well, you can always have more happiness, because you're never going to reach your peak, right? Or even if you do reach your peak, there's more opportunities in your life for more peaks in your life. And, this world is not only made up of one mountain, right? There are plenty of mountains, around the world. So that just means that there's plenty more opportunities and experiences just for you to be happy. And like I said, even if you're going through something right now that you may not see the light at the end of the tunnel, what that is saying to me as well is be the light at the end of the tunnel. Don't wait for it, because that just means, a lot of people think if it's at the end of the tunnel, then it's all the way a mile down the road. And no, you don't have to walk that mile. You can be that right now while still experiencing and going through and growing through everything that it is that you're experiencing right now. So I really love that one. Just make sure that you're always finding that sense of happiness, even though it may be a little bit harder to find it, or it may take a little bit more work to find it. It's going to be that much greater when you do find it as well. So I really love that one. And thank you guys again for dropping the hashtag positivity posse. I know Lacey feels it in the background. I see him smiling, feeling the love, the warmth, and the hearts. Yeah, I see him nodding his head right now. Happiness is key 100%. And as we all know, we are vibrational beings, right? So if we're operating and vibrating at that state of happiness, of love, of, consciousness, whatever you want to call it, those things will manifest into our lives. So if everything is getting, taken care of on the inside world, where you're finding that happiness and feeling good, it's just going to manifest on the external world. And Lacey's going to be talking about that kind of stuff, because he has won many awards. Like when I was checking out, when I was talking to Lacey, actually, he's just so humble. I didn't even know about all the long lists and the accolades of achievements that he's won and that he's, manifested into his life. And it's really great because, I know growing up in Detroit for him wasn't easy at all, but he decided to take those, hardships and maybe that rough upbringing to say, hey, well, I see what I don't want to become into my life. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my voice to kind of change the narrative for the people of Detroit, for, the people of planet Earth, and leave that, legacy piece, and make sure that everybody's that's coming up, whether it's children and everybody that watches them, they're going to leave with that same thing as well, where it's going to be inspired, or they're going to learn something. And that's why I feel like this is going to be a great episode, because we kind of had that stuff in alignment. Like you guys already know me growing up in Camden, it wasn't easy at all, where you have, drugs and gangs and poverty. That stuff's not easy. But you have the choice. Ultimately, it's up to you to say, okay, am I going to partake in this and not live, to my full potential? Because we all come to this earth for a reason. And we know that whatever that we come to this earth to do, we can do, whether it's, film director, whether it's a rapper, whether it's, Maybe not an NBA star because you got to be born with the physical gift. But hey, that didn't stop Muggsy Bogues though, right? So if he can do it, I think we could all do it. It's all about the mindset and how we think about it that is going to lead to it as well. So, like I said, I'm not going to be here next week, so I gotta give all this love and great energy to you guys now. I'm going to miss you next week. And if there's any like places in Dallas that I need to eat or check out, please let me know in the comments as well because I've never been. And I hear the food is absolutely great down there as well. So without further ado, it's time to bring Lacey onto the show. Drop your hearts, drop your positive comments, whatever you got to do, because it's time to welcome Lacey on the Weekly Dose of Dano. Let's get it, everybody. Lacey, my man, how you feeling today?
I'm doing good. I gotta say one thing to you, Dano, because my people will get on my head if I did not say this.
Let me hear it.
You said Detroit is St. Louis.
I'm so sorry. Well, I don't know what I was looking at. See, like I said, I'm all over the place today because when I was looking at it, I guess Detroit stuck into my head. You know what? As great of a place as it is, Lacey's not, that's for me. My bad. It's St. Louis. So, talk about that. With growing up in St. Louis, everybody, I can't believe you guys told me the wrong information. I'm just kidding. But growing up in St. Louis, I know that it wasn't easy for you, right? And now we've seen the end result of you just being very accomplished and kind of changing the narrative for the people in St. Louis. Talk about some of the elements that growing up there has helped you become the best film director or just anything that you pour into. Talk about those elements to help you be the best version of you that you are.
Yeah, I think it was great growing up in St. Louis. I grew up poor and in poverty-stricken neighborhood, but I think that's what allowed me to learn a lot of different things, to see the regular everyday people. So as I grew up and being around these different characters and having to sacrifice and being raised by a single mother. It allowed me to show through my film. So when people watch my films, they see that real rawness. I'm not creating the world. I'm using people that I met in life and creating these characters around them. So growing up the way I did made me stronger. Also, a lot of people who probably came from, where I came from, probably, didn't make it in jail, dead or anything, but I feel like life is what you make it, and I wanted to not be a statistic. So I wanted to show people that you can do anything that you put your mind to. And I was the first one also in my family to go to college, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to leave that legacy. So I feel like growing up in St. Louis and the people and everything, it made me who I am today.
100%, man. And I know I can speak for that. Growing up in the same thing, it teaches you resilience, right? Because I feel like when some people nowadays, I was having a conversation with somebody, they were just saying that the next generation is not really as strong, or they have their own beliefs and values, which is different from what other people were growing up. And I think when it comes to that resilience factor, that's something that they might not really have to the degree that we have. And it's like you said, that whatever that's happening in your life, you can get through, because if you got through it at a young age where you didn't have, the amount of money that you do, or kind of the mindset that you have when everything was still fresh and raw. If you got through it then, now everything is just going to be easy for you because you already gone through the hard part. It was just surviving that environment and just making sure you didn't end up like that. And I really appreciate you saying that too. And that's for everybody that's out there. Even if you're watching this right now and you're in an environment or neighborhood that you may not see that's serving you, everything's always serving you, So just take that into consideration and just know that you're going to get through it no matter what it is as well. When it comes to your films, talk about some of the elements that you throw in yourself in there, because I know, not physically, because we all know about cameos and different things like that. But what are some of your elements inside of you that are from your intangibles that people can expect to see in your films?
So with my films, I always like to leave a message, and I like to layer my films. I feel like nowadays the essence of true storytelling is gone, So that's why I still to this day look at movies from the 70s, the 80s, and 90s, because you get to see their character development, creating these characters. Nowadays, you look at a movie and somebody die real quick, you like, am I supposed to care for this character? So the elements I put, like I said, from where I came from, growing up. So I try to put messages in my film. Like I have a film about called Right Hand Man that's about gun violence, or a film about a beta. The title is named Abita, and that's about bullying. So I like to leave my audience with messages and create dialogue in my film. So once you leave my film, it's not just about the entertainment. It's about creating these conversations and touching on topics that people are afraid to, talk about or try to sweep under the rug. And the majority of my films, I always have a twist in them. So that's why a lot of people love my films. They be trying to guess the twist, but they never get it.
Of course not. And that's really one of the great things, like you said, about story films is the storytelling. And I feel like now everything's kind of a remake. Not everything, but like most things that you see is brought back from, like you said, the 70s, the 80s, or even later than that. And it's like, come on, where's the originality at? And there's so many stories to tell because we've all been around for so many centuries, right? So find something new. And let's talk a little bit about that. Since you are your own person and you were telling me before you were your own boss, where do you find the inspiration for all of your films from? Is it from, maybe a higher being, or maybe it's from your experiences? Where do you get your influence from, or your inspiration? Sorry.
So like they always say, every story has been told in the film. Period. There are no new stories. Period. Every story has been told. So it's about how you tell it. So I get my inspiration, like I said, from regular everyday people, like seeing people being bullied, or like I said, police brutality, gun violence, like the regular everyday lives. Like I don't care as much about the blockbuster films, like the Die Hards and the cars blowing up. I'm really about storytelling and trying to change the world. I want to, like I said, a lot of my films, I try to create dialogue to change the world. So my inspiration comes from the regular everyday people who going through issues in the world.
100%. And I love that answer too, because you're not doing it for the dollar. You're doing it for, other people to learn from it and to just provide that smile on somebody's face, whether it's a funny film or to evoke that emotion from somebody, which is really hard to do. So I commend you for that. And, we've had Weekly Dose of Dano here for about 3 seasons, but it's been about 2.5 years. And there have been some episodes that I've had that are some, just a touch better than others, whether it's through emotion or laughs or whatever the case may be. So, I know it may be hard to pick, but do you have a number one favorite film that you've ever produced?
Oh man, they are my babies.
I feel that.
I feel the most important one I made was Abita, the one I told you. So that was about bullying. And with this film, I didn't want to get actor or actress, So with this film, I went and got someone in the school who was actually getting bullied and wanted her to play the star role. And that role changed her life when she played in it. Her and the mean girls in the film, they became best friends. She saw the audience at the theater give her the greatest cheers, and that motivated her to do great in school. She stopped getting bullied, and she's doing great to this day. And it just showed her that she can do anything that she puts her mind to. So that's probably my most important film, because I'm always about helping people. So yeah, that was probably the most important one to me.
That's awesome. Do you still keep in contact with her?
Yep.
Man, that's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really important just to understand, or it's really important just to bring somebody out of whatever situation that they're in, and for you to help somebody in the youth is I feel like is even kind of harder because they may not learn how to deal with adversity in the same way that we have, and it's just great to hear that story. I mean, wow, you just blew me away with that one. So with bullying, why did you want to choose bullying, and why is that like a topic that you want to talk about? Because like you said, there's so many different ways, or so many different organizations that already tackle that. But in the creative aspect, why did you want to change kind of that narrative?
Because I feel like, like you said, there's a lot of organizations and, they always preach, hey, you got to stop this, you got to stop this. So I wanted to create a film where it's not preaching and it's actually showing you, this is what you're doing to the bullies. This is showing you what cause and effect this is having on a person. And also it's so much bullying going around, not just with the schools, that you have workplace bullying, you have bullying in sports. And so many kids, it seems like every week that they're committing suicide from being bullied online and everything. So I feel that's one of the leading causes of death right now, suicide from being bullying. So that's why I feel this was like a very important topic still to this day, because it's steady going on and it seems like it's getting worse. So that's why I try to create different things, different films and everything that try to touch on this subject to create dialogue.
100%. And I think a big one too that you know it is online bullying too, right? Because even I think it's especially apparent nowadays. Everybody has social media, everybody has a cell phone, and all you got to do is type a comment, hit send, and then they don't really think about the repercussions of their actions. Have you been victim to any bullying like growing up or maybe even online?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel that's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about it, because coming up, when I was in school, people used to make fun of my glass, like I had to wear bifocals, coming up as a kid or whatever, because I had cataracts when I was born. So I got teased in school and everything, but it's good that I had a support system, my mom and my grandmother and God, or I could have been one of those kids that couldn't take it and committed suicide or something. So definitely that's why that's very important to me, because as a kid I know how other kids are and they feel like they can't turn to anyone else, because they feel like, if you tell your parents, they feel like you'll get embarrassed in front of other kids if they come to school. So that's why it's very important to me.
100%. And I think too, when you said how other kids are, the first thing that came to my mind was how other kids are. They're ruthless and they're mean. They don't know how to work in a community environment just yet, or how to treat their peers, because it's so early, and they think that if they're just going to do it between their classmates, that it's not really going to get exposed or at least to anything. But it's like you said, man, it's very important. So if you and this is going to be a hard pill to swallow, but if you're a parent and you receive a call that your kid is bullying other kids, you got to look at what's going on in the household, right? Because that is a learned behavior. I feel like kids, I mean, look at a set of babies, right? They don't look at color, they don't look at race, they don't look at, gender, none of that stuff. They just know how to be kind to each other. And I feel like as people go about, or the kids are going about through their growing up in their livelihoods or their homes, that's when they learn how to treat other people. So, just make sure that everything is going, that you're monitoring what you're doing, because your kids are looking up to you and everything that you do as well. And I know that might be a hard pill to swallow, but hey, you got to lead the next generation to the right way and stop and kind of be like, if you were born and you were raised in that sense of like abuse, or you got beat a lot, and you got to break that cycle and break that chain. And I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, because you got to deal with all of that, and then not do that to to your kids. But that would be my sense of really trying to make this world and the next generation a better place as well. Because like you said, Lacey, how other kids are, and I feel like other kids are real mean nowadays. But
Yeah, definitely.
we could talk about a whole entire show about that. But I'm gonna flash some images on the screen, and I want you to do me a favor and talk about what's going on inside of these images, and what how important or what it really means to you.
Okay.
So we're gonna start with this one right here.
Okay, that's my boy Tim Azell. So he works at Fox 2 News. He's like a newscaster, one of the most popular newscasters. So I think that was the day that I was on the news. They was interviewing me to promote I had a film that I was premiering at the theater. So that's when I met him and we took a picture together.
All right, and then like I said, I'm just gonna choose the ones that really spoke out to me. This one right here.
Okay, so that is the bullying film of Beta that was on set. We was filming the film. So as you see, the little white boy, that's his name was Tot. He was the best friend of Beta. So yeah, that's just us on set right there. People get to see, the equipment, everything that we use, and so that's us filming a very powerful.
How long did it take to film this one?
A Beta, I think this one took 5 days, if I'm not mistaken. It was a short film. So I think that one took 5 days.
100%. And this is kind of the stuff that people don't see in the background. When they just see the finished product, they don't see the work or the equipment that goes into it. And do you own all of your equipment? And was that kind of hard to like own everything?
Oh no, so I've been very fortunate. So during that time, that film, I was in college at Webster University, so we were using that film. But anytime I do get ready and make a film, I have a team full of people who have their own equipment, and we just come together. I organize everybody, and we get it done.
100%. Sorry, my phone's ringing and it just went to the computer. But yeah, I mean, like you said, if you have the resources available to you, use it. I feel like that's kind of something that people don't see is how to use their creative side to produce whatever it is that they need to produce, whether it's film or TikTok videos or whatever it's going to be. Be creative to find what's going to work for you as well. And one more picture was this one.
Okay. So with this was the cast for I have a 6-part drama series that I've been working on. It's called The Lou. It's about St. Louis. So that was the cast. It was dealing with the Mike Brown, shooting. So that was just my cast from the Lou. Everybody did a phenomenal job. So we was at the movie theater. I had premiered kind of like a sneak peek. It was like a extended sneak peek of the Lou. Everybody was excited. So that was me with the cast, and the audience was asking them questions.
Man, that's awesome. So where can people go to find the Lou if they wanted to view it?
So right now I'm still I have the first 2 episodes shot, but I'm going to be pitching it to network. So they can't find it right now because it's being pitched, but you can see that same extended sneak peek trailer that's on YouTube. So all you got to do is type in the Lou 6-part drama series, and then you'll be able to see that extended sneak peek trailer.
Man, I love that. So thank you for sharing that. And if you guys need to reach out to Lacey about anything, please do so because he's more than willing to help and giving you his advice. And speaking of advice, if there's a young filmmaker right now that's watching, wherever they may be in the world, what advice do you have to give to the young filmmaker?
Okay, my advice is be you. Do not, you don't have to copy off anybody else. You can make films any type of way. Now you can use your cell phone to make films, create your own story, whatever you're feeling, because it's the same way as in music. We have a lot of people copying off each other, and you're not going to ever stand out if you're following someone else. Be you, make the films that you love to make, that you want to make, and then just put it out in the universe, and God will open the doors for you. I'm a prime example of that. I just put my stuff out in the universe, and God continues to open doors for me. So my main thing is just be yourself, make the films that you want to make, and do not care about the doubters, the naysayers, because you're going to get that a lot. So, stay true to you, and you will succeed in life.
100%. I want to talk about that naysayers part too. A lot of people, they don't have the confidence to follow their dreams and to follow their heart. So when they see you doing that, they're going to make fun of you, not because, the stuff that you're producing is bad, or not because, they're trying to make fun of you in a sense. Everything that people say and everything that people do is a reflection of themselves. So because they're not happy within themselves or they don't have the confidence, they're going to try to bring you down so that you are not going to go accomplish your dreams and live out what they want to do. So don't take it personally, everybody. If you're doing stuff and people may not be supportive, it's just like Lacey said, you just got to put it out into the universe and they'll take care of it for you as well. But, there's a bunch of other things about, making sure that you're staying happy and vibrating at a high place and not feeding into the negativity as well. And I agree with you, Lacey. There's been people that have said that I need to change the way my show runs, or they didn't like my content. It's like, okay, I hear you, but this has been my calling, and I know that this is what I need to do in order to help, change the world at my speed and make sure that we're leaving it in a better place than what we found it at.
And look, the same naysayers, as soon as you make it, they're gonna be the same people. Hey, how you doing? I knew you was gonna make,
Yeah.
You got to realize naysayers are just insignificant characters in the journey of your life story.
100%. Have you experienced that? Like you said, you sounded pretty specific when you said, I knew you were always going to make it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, even to this day, I have naysayers. I never focus on it though. I spend anybody know me, they call me the Zen master because I'm always in a peaceful, happy mind state 24/7. So I don't focus my energy on naysayers, period, because I know me, I'm confident in what I do. As long as you are confident in you and you know what you possess, nothing else matters. I got so many naysayers. but I have equal amount of people who super love me and super support me, way more, way more. So that love right there, keep pushing me forward, keep pushing me on. But yeah, I don't trip off naysayers at all because I know what I do, and God has been showing me that I'm on the right path. So
100%. So we're just gonna take a quick commercial break, everybody, since we're halfway through. Damn, this is going by so quickly. I mean, you guys already know it's like supersonic speed here on Weekly Dose with Dano TV, but this one's going by really quick. So if you have any questions for Lacey, drop it in the comments because we're just gonna play a few words from our sponsors. If you have anything that you got to say or any pieces of advice, please drop it in the comments because we came here. This is an interactive experience. It's not just about you sitting here and listening. It's about us going back and forth and all sharing in this positive energy and giving each other the gold bars. See that little gold bars that we need to share with each other in this world. So don't go anywhere. Like, share, do what you got to do to spread the word. And we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Except I received this insight about a title called Prisoner of War. The book.
Everybody, that was just a quick word from our sponsors. Thank you to our sponsors for sponsoring a Weekly Dose of Dano platform. We really appreciate it. And here's a comment from Lou. Great episode already. See, look at that, Lacey. Usually everybody says it after. They'll send me a text or a call to say how great everything was. But it's leaking through here halfway through the episode. That's how you know we're already doing everything that we got to do. So thank you so much for being, open, honest, and transparent and being here for today. We really appreciate it. I do in the Positivity Posse. So now we're gonna jump into we have so much stuff that we still need to cover in only 30 minutes. So we're gonna just take the most important ones because I know it's trying to fit a lifetime of knowledge and experiences in the 30 minutes, but we're gonna do our best. So when it comes to filmmaking, right? What's the hardest part? Because I couldn't even put my finger on it. Like there's trying to get everybody's schedules to come together to match, or maybe it's the production, the equipment costs. What's the hardest part in making a film?
To me, and this is only on my end because I'm a risk taker. So like I told you, I care about the people. So the hardest part for me is taking chances on people because I'm a person who likes to, help people with their dreams. A lot of people just go straight and get established actors, which I do that also. But if a person tells me that they always wanted to be an actor, but they ain't know where to start, so I try to give people chances. So a lot of time it works out great, but sometimes it don't. You can't find a person who's actually serious, so you be scrambling to try to find somebody to fit in their place. So other than that, it's easy to me because I love it so much. I'm so passionate about it, so I don't look at it as work. Like I write scripts easy. I know how to organize people easy. Yeah, so everything else is great. So taking chances on people sometimes be the hardest part for me.
Yeah, 100%. Taking chances on people, risk taker. That's awesome. And everything that you've been saying so far has really been, about the common person and really like for the people that maybe haven't made it or aren't like super successful, but aren't like, too bad either. It's just like those people that you were saying are the common people. Have you always been like just for the people, or were you like maybe like self-centered at first and then you had to have something happen and then you turned into like somebody that's for the people? Were you always like that?
I've always been for the people, even as a child. Like I don't know, it's something. I feel that's the gene that God blessed me with. I feel my gift that He has blessed me with is to help the people in the universe. Period. So like my main goal is to build a big production studio like Tyler Perry did for Atlanta. I want to do that in St. Louis and just give people jobs, help people out. With acting and this everything. So I just feel that's my main thing that God wanted me to do on this earth.
100%. And Stacey Weiss says yes, he has always been for the people, and you got your supporters here. So this is great things that's going on, because like we always say, we don't talk about it, we're being about it. And if you have people that are here supporting you, saying the same thing, then that's how you know you're on the right path as well. And when it comes to
Thank you,
your good, I'm happy to hear that though. Well, hey, you got that support system, like you were saying, but just to have that support system is a blessing. And you know that since you're a support system for others, other people that want to be your support system will show up into your life as well, because it's just a reflection of what's going on in the inside, right? So it's
Mhm.
just a perfect circle, and it's just always amazing how everything happens as well. Now when you've been making films. When I've seen it was in 2016 was I think was the earliest. Um, what has been, I mean, officially, I think I saw it on the website, it was that date, but when it comes to like sustaining that energy and that drive, what has been like, what continues that drive for you to just keep on going?
The people. Like I'm very passionate. Like I said, what makes me continue to drive is I don't look at this as work. This I feel God blesses everyone with a gift, and I feel I am one of the people that is blessed to make money and have a great living off what I love to do. None of this is work. I'm a journalist. I write articles. I write and direct movies. I write commercials. Like all of this is just not work to me. It's stuff that I love to do, and so that's what keeps me driving. Just the people, helping these people out, and loving what I do.
100%. And let's talk a little bit more about that and dive into that. Did you always know that this was your calling, or did you kind of have like an aha moment that something happened to you and then you said, I know this is going to be what I'm going to do for my life?
So I've always wrote music my whole life. Like I've done that. But as far as films, I've always loved watching films for the technical side. A lot of people watch it for entertainment. So I'll be like, "Ooh, I love that shot. I love how they did the camera like that." So I basically had an aha moment, and this was like 2000 and I think 11 or 12, because I was tutoring third grade for AmeriCorps, and I was a mentor, in the school system. And then one day I was just at home watching First Take ESPN. This is when Skip and Stephen A. Smith was again. And then it just hit me. I was like, I know what I want to do. I want to write and direct movies. So it started from there as far as the movie part.
And then as far as the music part?
I've just been doing that as a kid. My father and my mother, they always was listening to Motown, Temptation. So I've always had the musical part in me. And I started writing my own music after Bone Thugs and Harmony came out. I think that was in 96, maybe 90. Nah. I think 98, 99, one of them. I forgot what year, but yeah, I started using their songs and making fool songs out of them, and then after that, I started writing my own lyrics. So I've been doing music my whole life.
Now, do you think this is, personal? I mean, I guess they're all personal questions, but do you think that the music in today's standard, like, is where it needs to be, or do you think that the old music is better than what's going on for today?
I definitely think the old music is better than today. Today, it's just like the movie. People rush. Like now, you see a lot of people just go in the studio and just rap anything. They don't take their time. Back then we used to write lyrics. It used to be messages. everybody sounds the same now. Like back then, you had all these different artists. You had Nelly, you had Eminem, you had DMX, Jay-Z, all these different personalities, coming with different stories. But now all the rappers sound the same, and there's no messages in music no more. It's all about, I guess, making the quick buck now.
100%. And I agree with you. I just feel like a lot of the people, especially in the rap industries, like all the same things where they put on the auto tune and they have a good beat, but the rapper isn't that great. So then they'll just rely on the beat,
Yep, no substance.
Yeah, basically, yeah, is the best way to phrase it is no substance. So I don't know, but there are the hidden gems out there in the world, whether it's the rap people and specifically or just anything. Because I know for me, I listen to all different kinds of music besides country music. I really can't get into that. I've tried, but it's just not my thing. But where do you get your inspiration for your lyrics? Like, is it just from the rap genre? Or are you like the same type, or you just listen to everything?
I listen to everything. I think that's probably where I do get my inspiration, but just life, the artists I listen to, like growing up, like I said, Bone Thugs, Eminem, Tupac, DMX, just they taught me to write from what you're going through, because there's a lot of people who are feeling the same way. A lot of these rappers make money, make songs about money, cars, sex, drugs, but it's somebody who been bullied, somebody who's struggling, who ain't got a job and trying to make ends meet. It's relationships that you're going, toxic relationships and all this type of stuff. So I try to create music, just touching on those things. If anybody listens to my music, you will see I have a lot of substance and you can feel it. It's just like my films, passionate.
100%. And money is kind of like a taboo topic where a lot of people are like kind of afraid to talk about it, and because there's so many stipulations or whatever's going on with money. But for the average independent filmmaker, right? How did did you have those financial struggles in the beginning where it was hard to like have a 9 to 5 and then do whatever you were passionate about doing? Like, how did you balance that very early on in the beginning? Or maybe if there's somebody's watching that, they're like, man, Lacey probably had all this money growing up, so that's why he was able to do it. Not saying that they're right, but there's always people that are like that. So talk about really your story and how you made that side work, and you had the the drive and the ability to follow through on your dreams.
Hey, look, I've never had all of the money. I grew up poor, so even when I was in college, I was poor. But what it is, I feel blessed, and this is just for me. God has gave me this spirit and this, I guess, aura where I just attract people, who believe in me. So I've never really had the money problem. If I wanted to shoot somewhere, I go in the store. Hey, can I shoot in your establishment? Oh, sure, yes. If I needed to organize some people, get some people a crew, or like I said, people with cameras and all this type of stuff. Like with me, it never was a money thing for me. Or do a GoFundMe and raise money. But with me, I've always had people who believe in me and just love working with me, love working for me, business establishment. So I really never had a problem to shoot any of my films because I guess God blessed me with that aura.
100% too, man. And I just feel like that sounds like you're on the path of like least resistance. When you knew that this was your calling and you decided to act it on it, then everything really kind of comes, like you said, easier. And then you didn't have to like really fight because you followed in his purpose and you decided to do what you knew you were going to do in the beginning. And a lot of people don't understand it really can be that easy. Right now, if you're finding any hardships or any struggles, it's probably because you're doing the things that you're not supposed to be doing in this world, or you're not following your dreams and your passions, right? If you're working a 9 to 5 and your construction work, I mean, if that's your calling, yeah, that's great. But if you're doing it just for the money, then you're gonna not be satisfied at your job. And then if you're not satisfied at the job, that's gonna carry over into everything else that you're doing in your life, whether it's yourself, your passions, your projects, and everything else. And really, I love the fact that you're talking about that, how it can be easy and so smooth.
Yeah, I listen to Steve Harvey. If you haven't seen Steve Harvey, go on YouTube and look at this video called Jump. And he talks about, jumping off that cliff of life. He's like, you can stand on a cliff and play it safe, but you will never know what life has for you. So you have to jump off that cliff and go for what you know. And like when he said, when you first start off, you're gonna get some bumps, some bruises, you're gonna get those scrapes, but eventually your parachute has to open. So keep on going, never give up, even if you fail. Failure is a means to success. Michael Jordan failed, Tyler Perry failed, Ice Cube all failed at one point. They didn't just say, hey, I'm a superstar. So you're gonna fail in life, but you learn those lessons and keep pushing through, and you're gonna eventually make it. I am a living example of that too.
100%. And I feel that it's so awesome just to hear about that, because a lot of people are fearful of saying, oh, well, what am I going to do if I don't have benefits, or if I don't have my job, how am I going to get money, blah, blah, blah. Your job is, like you said, not really worry about how it's going to happen. Just believe that it will happen. Put all your faith and you bet on yourself, and then watch all of the great rewards that come to you. And it might happen even faster than what you might think it can happen.
Yeah.
Because I've talked to people that they've got, like, achieved their dreams of. Remember, there was a guy that was on Weekly Dose of Down. He said he got it done in 2 weeks. He started his own company when it came to, like, sauces, and he just believed in that. He believed in himself, and that they had the plan for him, and it was just amazing how it all happened. I says I wasn't satisfied with my job and leaving it, but it was the best thing that I did. I jumped that cliff, and it feels great. 100%. Life is amazing.
Yeah, real tough. You don't never want to live with the woulda, coulda, shoulda. You don't want to be older like, I could have did this, I should have did this, I would have did this. Go out there, go for what you know. And if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else gonna believe in you.
100%. And people can see right through that stuff too. It's really about believing in yourself. And I was gonna say, did you always believe in yourself? But yeah, it seems like you kind of did, because you actually decided to go through it. So I can't even ask you that.
Yeah.
But how did you know that, like, not questioning your talents or not questioning your ability? Because like you said earlier in the beginning, you're not going to know everything. So how did you go about that learning process?
So I feel it was just like, once you identify your gift and you know what you're great at, I feel there is no stopping you. After that, I just wanted to soak up all knowledge then. Like I said, I knew I'm a very talented writer. When I was doing my music, my songs, I feel I learned from the best artists. So when I got in films, I was like, I know I'm a great writer. And I just wanted to soak up all the knowledge. Once I finally identified what I wanted to do, and I went back to college, because I had been to college in 10 years. So when I went back, I was so focused. I wanted to sit up in the front of the class. If my teacher gave me an A-, I was like, hold on, wait a minute. I got all hundreds. I need an A. They were like, okay. Like, I really actually cared about, what I was doing. So I started soaking up all knowledge, and you can never learn enough. If you ever think you learned enough, then you need to stop, what I'm saying? And surround yourself with all people that are smarter than you, also. So I just learned so much. And let me get these people these last jewels right here too. So read these 3 books right here. Help me in life. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Richest Man of Babylon, and Think Rich, Grow Rich. Those books right there helps your mindset. You got to create a powerful mindset for yourself. So once you get that, then nothing can stop you. No naysayers, the devil, nothing.
100%, man. And I agree with you. I'm constantly always reading books. Like I said, I have this one right here, which is, the affirmations for the happiness. I have another one right here, which is Think and Grow Rich, with the power of your subconscious mind. I mean, I do know what you said by Napoleon Hill. I'm Think and Grow Rich. I was just reading the Psychology of Success, which is Mindset by Carol Dweck. I just got done reading, The Ego is the Enemy. I forgot. It was Ryan Holiday. That one. There was another one called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. But all of these books are to say, like you said, number one, when you learn this information, nobody else can take that away from you, right? So that's the first most important thing. And then number two, it gives you the foundation, like you said, to understand whatever it is that you want to choose into your life, you are going to be successful. And it's all about, how, like you said, the mindset. It's not the tangibles, because think about it. Like Lacey, me and you and Stacy and Jeanette and Lewis, all of these people, we both have 2 legs, we both have 2 arms, we have 2 sets of eyes, a nose, and mouth. So what is really the difference that, you're achieving this success and I'm not, or I'm achieving the success and you're not?
Hey, Dan, I tell people, we had the same 24 hours. What you choose to do with yours is on you. I am no different than nobody else. You can do the same thing I do. It's all about what you apply. how you apply yourself, bro.
100%, man. And I think I said that last week. Yeah, it was last week on the show where we had the same 24 hours, like you said, as Tyler Perry, as Martin Luther King, as Ronald Reagan. I don't whoever you ever look up to, you got the same time as them to make something happen. And it's really just a shame. Please don't be out here just wasting time and wasting your life, because you never know, number one, when your last day is going to be.
Right.
And then number two, you never know, by pushing off a day to achieve your dreams, you might be pushing off the results for 6 months, for 2 years, just because you decided to take that day off. So, I'm not trying to scare anybody, but you got to think about it, of what's going to happen when you do actually fall. Well, not fall, but when you actually make that decision to, impact your life. And here, Stacy says, wait, it was this one. Sorry. He also has an amazing woman on his side, bars. So can you talk about your support system and how great they've been for you as well?
Man, I call my support system Team Bars. There's everybody who believe in me, who helped me. Like Stacy, she been one of the people who helped me a lot. Also, like as far as like staying up 24/7. When I was first doing my films without a car, just taking, me and my team back and forth, making food. I have a team of people, like I said, Team Bars, who just holding equipment for me or anything, whether it's sharing a post, whether it's coming out, if I need them for extras, just everything, man. I just thank God for the support system I have, family and friends, because like I said, it's a lot of people who are not meant to be in your life. As I continue to go on my path, a lot of people have fell off, and I'm glad, because God showed me the people who was meant to be in your life and the people who's not meant to be in your life. So I'm glad those people fell off anyway. So everybody else who supports me, I love them all. Like I said, salute to Team Bars. They've been very instrumental in my life. I'm gonna keep on being.
100%, man. It's really great to have that support system that's around you, because they're gonna help you maybe when you're not feeling the greatest, or you don't feel like making that film or writing that song or whatever it is that you need to do. So that's why it's very important to keep these people around your life that need to be there, because they're gonna help you when you're not feeling well. I mean, think about it. There's times where I haven't felt well, and just coming on and listening to my positivity posse, you guys have given me the strength and the courage and the energy to get up and do this every week for you guys. And I love to do it. And there's nowhere else that I would rather be. So I feel exactly what you're talking about, Lacey, man. It's a great, great feeling that we have when you believe in it. And we have a few minutes left on the show, but we always wrap up the show with the same question, right? So here it is. If there's somebody that's watching this right now that's kind of going through their deepest, darkest moments, and they're not sure how to get out of whatever they're going through, what advice would you have to give to these people?
God, talk to God. Like, God has got you through anything. Like, you're living right now. I'm pretty sure we all have been through a lot of downs through our life, and God has pulled us through. Just know that it's not the end of the world. You can do anything that you put your mind to, like I said. So talk to God, pray to God, and God is everything. I'm telling you, like, He has got me through so much. Like I tell you, this day, I have been through the darkest of times, and God has pulled me through it. So if He pulled me through it, He can pull you through it also. So definitely pray, get in your Bible, just like that, or get some affirmation books. Watch a lot of positive stuff. What you feed your mind in the morning is the first 10 minutes of the morning is very important. So listen to a lot of motivational speech videos on YouTube. They have so many motivational and powerful things for you. So don't ever feel like it's the end of the world. So once you do that, I guarantee that it deals with mindset also. I guarantee if you manifest happy thoughts and manifest positivity in your life, you will see happiness. And I tell everybody this, if you have a problem, you're going through something, the problem is going to be there, whether you're happy with it or sad or frustrated with it. So you might as well be happy with it until it rectifies itself, period.
100%, man. And I agree with you. Like I said, I agree with you, because we're kind of on the same wavelength when it comes to like refining our mind and finding the happiness and everything. And a lot of people say, "Oh, Daniel, you're one of the most positive people I know." But it's like you said, it's not just about finding, like, just being happy and like faking it. This is what you need to do in order to make sure that it can be sustained, and finding those reasons why. Because you know, I can look around and find so many things that may not be going right in my life. And if I focus on that, it's just going to grow, right? Because where focus goes, energy flows.
Right.
So if you're just constantly worried about that, those are the things that are going to become bigger, bigger, bigger. And it's going to be harder to kind of see through that smoke and mirrors. But like you said, when you're focused on that happiness, man, it's, and just not even always happiness. It could be positive thoughts too. Like, you know, I survived the day, or tomorrow's gonna be the thing that I've been asking for the most. Tomorrow's gonna be the day that it's gonna manifest and show up into my life. Or, you know, tomorrow's gonna be the greatest day that I've ever experienced. So it's not really always about happiness. It's just finding the positive side to everything as well. Because we all know we are vibrational beings, and I just want to show one picture too. I just feel like I got to show this right now. As we all know, when we're elevated right here and, you know, operating and vibrating at the peace stage, joy, love, great things will start to happen. So just get rid of the shame, the guilt, and everything that's down here, because these are the things that we want to avoid, and it's not going to be, you know, the greatest things that are going to happen to us as well. So Lacey, if there's somebody that's watching that wants to reach out to you, where can they find you at, and what are some of your different connectors?
Okay, I am Lacey G Souldier, Lacey G Souldier Turner on Facebook. Everywhere else, TikTok, Instagram, it is G Souldier, and they got a U in it, like your soul. So it's GSOULDIER. So G Souldiers on all the other social media platforms. Reach out to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm accessible. I'm friendly. I give advice. I'll let you know what it is. If you need to talk, I am for the people. So reach out to me.
100%. So everybody, thank you so much for being here on Weekly Dose of Dano TV. I just want to just show a few of these. That's it. Believing in yourself is the key. Danny's show is always amazing. Great guest, Lacey. You are both inspiring. Thank you so much. Great episode. The best show on E360 TV. And I'm going to take that and say we are the best show in the entire world. We're better than the Joe Rogans and the whoever else is out there, man. No, I'm just kidding. He has a good show, man. But you know, we're up there as well because we believe in our content and we have purpose and substance to our content as well. So thank you so much for commenting that. Like I said, we're not going to be here next week. I'll be in Dallas for E360 doing an event. You know, like I said, if there's any food places, because you know, y'all know me, I'm a fat ass. I love my food. So just let me know what's going on and where I need to go and get tapped into. So everybody have a great weekend. Lacey, thank you for coming on again and dropping these golden bars for everybody as well. Everybody have a great, safe weekend because, you know, you just never know what's going on in the world.
My Golden State Warriors will be back next year.
What's up? Say it one more time.
My Golden State Warriors will be back next year.
Oh, man, I was actually going to ask you about that. Well, you know, I'll interview you next year when they get kicked out of the playoffs again. Nah, I can't talk. I'm a Sixers fan. I don't even want to talk about what's going on over there, man. I couldn't even tell you. But now I'm just kidding. So everybody have a great weekend. Be safe, and I'll see you in 2 weeks for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano. Thank you so much, Lacey, again. Peace.